What is going on, Bravo fam? Welcome back to my channel, y'all. Have you guys watched this week's episode of Potomac? Holy shit. If you haven't watched it, stop watching this video and go and watch it right now. Major spoiler alerts are gonna happen in this video. We are gonna break down the entire Drag Me Monique fight. So I'm doing something new with this review. I need to watch the fight and review it at the same time. So much happened. So let's get into it. All right, so I've never in my entire life of watching Housewives, never witnessed something like this unfold ever. I've got notes. Because, duh. So let's talk about the things that led up to this epic showdown. So last week, before this happened, Ashley asked Candace and Monique, like, are you guys good? And then Shady Giselle chimed in and was like, what's the issue? So it just kind of seems to me, first off, that those two kind of stirred the pot because Candace, remember last week, said, I love you guys so much. Granted, she was drunk on wine or had a buzz on, whatever. And we kind of should have just left it at that. But Ashley and Giselle stirred that pot because Ashley and Giselle earlier this season sat down and talked about how Candace went out of her way to become friends with Charisse. So that's another issue that led to this. Candace inviting Charisse to her anniversary party when Charisse wasn't even invited to Candace's wedding. Y'all know that Monique and Charisse have epic beef because Charisse went around spreading nasty rumors about Monique and her trainer. By the fact that Candace inviting Charisse to her party when Monique didn't even know that those two had any type of friendship history was kind of like a betrayal, especially since they were trying to work on some sort of friendship. So that's beef number one. Second beef is the lake house. Everything that went down with Giselle and Candace having a conversation with Ashley about text messages about Michael. So they meaning Candace and Giselle, didn't want to have that conversation in front of the group. They wanted to do it in private. Well, Monique didn't like that and felt as if Candace was being shady. So then that led up to more beef because Monique the next day was like, why do we got to talk about anyone's marriages at all? Why can't we just let it go? That happened. And then back to the barn and the Drag Me Monique fight. Candace was like, why you were pretending to be asleep at the lake house. She was pretending to be asleep. But Monique was like, you wouldn't understand. I was tired. You wouldn't understand. You don't have kids, which then led into why you gotta mom shame me. But Candace doesn't even have kids, so it wasn't really mom shaming to begin with. And then that led up to typical over theatrics Candace spinning around. Oh, I'm bored, Monique. I'm sleeping, I'm bored. Just over the top. You know what I'm saying? Over the top. And then Monique was like, twirl, 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 cheetah, twirl. So it was definitely back and forth. However, Ashley and Giselle egged that on. And then Candace, typical Candace, got loud and over the top and instigated the entire thing. And then proceeded to say, drag me, Monique, drag me. You want to drag me? And Monique tuffled on her hair. And here's where it gets weird. Let's continue to watch. Y'all, this was freaking intense. It was so intense. However, watching it back and doing my Nancy fucking Drew investigating on the old Instagram, you can see that Giselle sort of pushes at Monique, which caused the situation to get worse. But Candace grabs Monique's vest and kind of pulls her in. So Candace is really asking for it. She really is. She's instigating the whole thing. So when Candace pulls Monique's vest into the situation, that caused Monique to grab her hair. And then you can see Candace taking her wine glass, throwing the wine at Monique. And once Monique grabs her hair and pulls her down towards the table, you can see Candace taking the wine glass and just smashing it at Monique's face. You can see that, which then causes Monique's lip to get busted and she's bleeding. Let's continue to watch.
Hold on.
I need a minute. This fight, I've never, oh God, it was bad, y'all. I've never, in my years of watching Housewives, ever witnessed they teased this fight all day leading up to this, and I read a lot of posts and heard a lot of things that they literally left nothing out at all. Like, they showed exactly what happened in this fight. Do I agree with violence? No, I do not. And I do not agree with violence at all. Violence is, never the answer. But I'm Team Monique. And y'all can agree and y'all can disagree. I'm Team Monique. Candace egged her on. She kept saying, drag me, Monique, drag me. What are you gonna do, drag me? I'm bored, and just went and kept going and wouldn't stop. And when someone does that to you, you don't know what's gonna come out, When you're on the other side of being egged on that hard, you don't know how you're going to react. And unfortunately, that's the way Monique reacted. And the fact that afterwards Candace boo-hooed and was so, upset is kind of like, well, yeah, you deserved it. You deserved to get dragged. You asked to get dragged. You instigated. You poked. You prodded. You went hard. And then you act like, why did this happen to me? Well, look at your choices. Look at what you did. Of course it happened. I don't agree with violence at all, but I'm Team Monique. I think so much happened, and Monique was dealing with so much with her issues with Candace and her issues with Charisse. And also, I'm going to say this, Giselle is also not a perfect angel in this as well. She's saying a lot of things behind closed doors, behind people's backs. So I think a combination of all of that led up to this fight. And, can you blame her? I mean, let's continue. I'm Ashley's face. Through all of this, I am Ashley, the whole building was shaking. Oh, gotta screenshot that for y'all. Hold the fucking phones. That's me. Monique is right. She kept talking and she was asking someone to hit her. Now Karen's coming and tugging at the door to try to get to Monique, and she's kind of just not having it, and y'all. So the door gets cracked And Monique overhears Candace screaming, "You're a ghetto-ass hoe bitch rat," which then sets Monique off even more, y'all.
Ooh, James. Seriously? James?
No, please don't.
God bless the producers. They are the true heroes of all of this. James is not letting Monique out of that stairwell at all. He's like, nope, you ain't going out, because if we let you out, you are going to, y'all. Up. Here comes Monique. She's escaping through the back to get to Candace, y'all.
Here she comes. Make sure that you are away in the car, please, baby.
Up, she's running. She's running.
Get off of me. Stop.
Y'all. Y'all. Oh my no. Listen. That was intense. I will say this though. There was one true winner of that fight. Candace's wig. That shit did not come off. It's almost as if she knew what she was gonna do and she glued that shit in extra hard because it did not move. So Candace's wig is the winner of the Drag Me Monique fight. That's my opinion. So that's how this episode opened, with that. I'm just really at a loss for words. It really was. Watching that fight was very emotional to watch. Very emotional. So let's put that in a box and move on. So there's a few other scenes that, like, we thought that was bad. Oh, y'all, it got worse as the episode went on. So let's just first talk about Ashley and Michael. So they had a moment this episode where Ashley asked Michael for a post-nup because we all know what happened. Something happened with Michael and a girl and a stripper. So Ashley wants to protect herself and baby Dean. That whole thing is weird. So we all know that they have been with other people in the past. They have some sort of agreement, some sort of open relationship. I don't really know. It's all weird. And now she's pregnant again. And y'all, I'm gonna say this. I think there's something in their prenup or in their post-up or whatever that she needs to be married to him for X amount of years and give him X amount of babies, and then she can leave and collect the money. As Giselle would put it, word on the street is they're broke and they don't have any money. And the only income coming in is the show money. So I don't really know. I think the whole Ashley Michael thing is weird. I think he's cheating on her. I think he's being shady. And I think she's being naive. There, I said it. And then, we move into this. Karen and Ray. So they meet with a counselor, a pillow talk coach to work through some of the issues that they're having in their marriage. So as we know, they're kind of drifting apart. And the connection is kind of fading away. So Karen wants to put in the work. Try to make things better. Well, y'all, this coach asked Karen if she's still in love with Ray. And Karen's like, of course, I'm still in love with you. Well, then the coach asks Ray if he is in love with Karen. Y'all, he said, I think I'm in love with her. Y'all, what kind of bullshit is that? And that didn't sit well with Karen. So she runs upstairs after the coach leaves and has a moment in her closet off camera, but still mic'd up. I think we're going to see a lot more of this play out as the season goes on, but I felt horrible for Karen. But it's also nice to see Karen this season kind of open up and talk about this stuff, because we know how she pretended like everything was fine, you know, seasons past. So clearly everything is not fine, and we're gonna see a lot more of this play out as the season goes on. And now, y'all, the last thing I want to talk to you guys about this episode is Giselle. So Giselle and her daughters are down in Atlanta because they're at the restaurant opening, because y'all know freaking Jamal bought the daughters a restaurant. So we see the grand opening of that, and I think it's weird. I don't agree with the restaurant thing. I think the whole thing is fucking weird. It's weird and I don't like it. So Giselle's dad is there. But before we get into that, let's go to a producer moment. So the producers in Giselle's confessional asked her, how many baby daddies does Jamal have? And Giselle didn't answer the question. She didn't want to air that out. Well, the final scene of this episode is a hot mic moment of Giselle's dad saying that he does not agree with Giselle being with Jamal, and that it's a bumpy road and a dangerous road, and he doesn't agree with it. And this guy has 5-6 baby mamas. 5 to 6 baby mamas? Y'all, I can't tell you how many times my jaw was dropped on the floor this episode. We had the Drag Me Monique fight. We had Ray telling Karen, I think I love you. And then we had Giselle's dad dropping that bombshell at the last scene of the episode, saying Jamal has 5 to 6 baby mamas. Don't sleep on the P, y'all. Don't sleep on the P. This episode, I don't have words. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this episode because so much was unloaded. Now that everything's said and done, it's being said that Giselle and Candace, they don't want to film with Monique at all anymore. So Monique, she's not being part of any group things anymore. She's not going on the group trip. So we're only going to see Monique film on her own for the rest of the season. So it's gonna be interesting to see how all of this plays out. And next week, we're gonna see her sit down with the ladies and sort of dissect what happened. So get yourself subscribed to my channel because we're gonna talk about all of that next week. That's all I've got for you guys today. Get yourself subscribed, give this video a big thumbs up, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.